Hey, my name's Paul. In this video, I'm going to be cutting through a bunch of the fluff about what you should automate versus what you shouldn't automate in the AI automation space. Let's get right into it. Okay, so first we're going to go over some general rules for automation just to kind of, make a scope for things of how you can view automation and development of automation as a whole. So usually what you want to do is whenever you're looking at a process to automate, you want to automate the predictable things. So if you know every time, hey, I have to, come in here, create a proposal and then move it to this folder. And I do that day in and day out for every single new client. And it's literally the same exact process or sometimes a slightly bit different. That is what you want to automate. You want to automate the predictable and then, like I said, humanize the nuanced. So, if something just completely depends, on how someone's like feeling or something, then that obviously you don't want to automate. But if there's things like, variables between different clients, you can still automate that. If it's repetitive, data driven, and rule based, automate it. So it's funny, the less AI you can use, usually the better a flow is going to be because it's going to be way more predictable. So if it's a linear flow, and I'm going to make another video about this, basically it's one, flow. Sometimes there's routers and things, conditional logic, but there's usually no AI, or I guess in a linear automation, there is no AI predicting how the flow operates. So there's no open AI step. Okay, go up here now by, structured data or anything. It's just simply one flow. If this equals this, then go here. If this equals this, go here. Not asking, OpenAI or Gemini, is this equal to this or is this equal to this? Should we go here? Should we do this? Because the reality is these AIs, I don't know if it never will be, but currently they're not good enough where you can just be like, oh, I know every single time out of a million billion times it's going to pick the right path. And that's why I don't like AI agents that much, because this whole trend of it automates my whole life, it's just kind of bullshit. So, next, if it's strategic, emotional, or requires human judgment, like I said, keep it personal. You don't want to automate things like client communication. That's bad. Don't do that. Things like, trying to automate a sales call. I think I've seen some stuff about that. It's just dumb. Don't do that. If you need to have that human interaction, that's going to be actually valued super highly right now. That's why people are going for that long form type stuff now, because a lot of the short form is AI content, like Opus Clip or something, stuff like that. It feels fake. It feels generic. We want that, authentic human experience. So if it's strategic or emotional, you want to keep it human. Things you should automate. So like I said, you want the repetitive tasks to be automated. Obviously, that's what we do as automators. So things like lead scraping, email validation, cold outreach launch. So things like setting up your instantly campaigns, if they're going to be, client name campaign, you could automate that every single time. Follow-ups, daily metrics, reports, Slack notifications, content repurposing, lead status tagging, CRM syncing. Now, I use a lot of examples from cold email because a lot of cold email people don't automate what they're doing, or people that are getting into cold email or even lead gen agencies, that type of thing. They have a lot of unautomated processes. That was one of my first builds I ever did with clients, was literally a lead gen agency, and they just had so many operations. Like the first guy, I can't drop his name or anything. He's not doing it anymore. He does e-com marketing now, but essentially every time they had a new client, they had to like create a Google Drive folder, a Google Doc with like the same info every time. And then I think like a Notion ID or something. It was very repetitive, and that's a good example of something you want to automate. Content repurposing is another really good one. And what I mean by this is like if you have, a LinkedIn post or something, or you have AI generate a LinkedIn post, you can also have another step in the AI, take that post and regenerate it as an X post, or you take an RSS feed or something like that. Content repurposing is really good. It's also really effective for growth if you know your niche very well. Those are actually super high in demand for things on like X and LinkedIn, that type of thing. Lead scraping, obviously, you can automate that. Email validation, if you're not doing that, I don't know what you're doing. And in terms of follow-ups, you can automate like the process of sending a Slack notification when you get a follow-up. I don't know if I would necessarily, write the follow-up as a template, because a lot of the time, again, you are going to need AI in that step, because Instantly's tagging system uses AI anyways to tag like, hey, are they interested or not? And normally I forward that to my own AI. If I'm going to get, hey, new interested reply, I forward all the replies to a Telegram channel that I'm in, and it just says, "Hey, you have a new reply in this outreach campaign. Here's the link. I can open it up, respond to it, yada yada yada. If it needs responding, that's a really good example of something to automate those things. So things you shouldn't automate. So things like copywriting. This is bad, and I see a lot of people, trying to automate this. It'll be like, take this company's LinkedIn and write the whole copyright. That's just never gonna work. One, OpenAI is not the best at that. Claude's usually better, I found, at writing copy. Now, you can have it write copy if you give it a lot of detail, a lot of structure. Hey, here's where I want the personalization. Here's where I want the pitch. Here's where I want the CTA. Follow these CTA guidelines, because it's going to be such a generic email, and sometimes it's going to be like super long, and it's going to have tons and tons of spam words. That's never good. Kickoff calls, I kind of included that as a joke. Obviously, things like sales calls and kickoff calls, you don't want to do. Cold email replies. So there's a difference between, like a follow-up and a reply. Follow-ups, you can send, it's like if you don't receive a reply within 3 days, then send the follow-up. Obviously, automate that. That's built into tools like Instantly and Smartly, but you can also do that via DM or, VAPI outbound calls. Got to be careful with that, but yeah, you can do that. But cold email replies, like I said, if somebody hits you back with, "Hey, yeah, I'd like more info," you don't want OpenAI to spit out, "Hey, that sounds great," bunch of exclamation points and emojis. It just, people can tell it's AI. No one wants that. I guarantee they're not going to buy from you if you do that. Don't do that. Upselling, obviously, your client the best. Sales calls and demos, again, that's kind of a joke. Proposals for really high ticket stuff, you usually want to look over this so you can have some sort of human in the loop step. I believe they're rolling that out in Make right now for like enterprise tiers and stuff. If you're dealing with like a 30K project, you don't want to like automate the whole thing of like up until the point of closing the client unless you do this all the time, which maybe do. But you want to be careful with that type of thing. And then obviously objection handling. I could have made this a bit better if I'm being honest. But I just wanted to, kind of show some examples. But things that require personal touch, direct communication with humans can usually tell if it's an AI right now. Keep that personal. And then a few other guidelines. Don't automate just to make a cool looking flow. Yeah, pun intended, make, ha ha ha. I'm so funny. Trying to automate an entire business will lose both you and the client a ton of time and money, and will likely lose you for future projects. This does not necessarily mean that you just have to pitch them one flow and that be it. Obviously, you want to upsell your clients, but like coming into a business and saying, "Hey, I can automate 15 different things," like you're scared of somebody else coming in and taking your spot. One, be confident, and two, that ain't gonna happen. There's not enough competition in this market yet for that to happen. You need to, I'm not necessarily saying you even have to niche down, but especially if you're doing like consultant, like AI automation consulting or something, which is what I do. I come into a business, I'm not telling them 20 different things that we can automate. I'm like, okay, what's the highest ROI thing? What can we pump out quickly? What do I know we can do? Like I can see this scenario in my head. If you've built for a long time, you know what I'm talking about. You can kind of like visualize how the flow is going to look. Oh, okay, this feeds into here, yada, yada, yada. That's the flow that I pitch first because I know I can get it out quickly. They can see ROI fast or see the deliverables fast, like this piece of content's out or you made X amount of money. The quicker you can get to that instead of like, oh yeah, we can build out a whole software, like kind of getting away from those deals is super, super important, especially in this industry because people will see videos like, yeah, you can create a SaaS in like a day with AI and like get the back end and payment processors and everything, like literally everything running. But if you say like, oh, we're going to build a SaaS and we're going to build a website and we're going to build a bunch of automations, we're going to do your email marketing. That's like the job of like 8 or 9 different agencies that you're trying to do for $2,000. And I mean, it's probably going to take you a long time and you're probably going to mess up somewhere. And then the client's timeline is going to end in a week and you're just screwed. So don't overcomplicate this. Again, my first client, which was that lead gen agency, this was back in maybe November, honestly. Yeah, November 2024. Forget what year it is sometimes. 2024 November. Got this first lead gen client. This was a dude. He taught me a lot about cold email, a lot about business too. But yeah, I mean, we came in and we kept like building flows about to 80%, and then we would just be like, oh, but we can also do this, and that would look cooler. You need to get something out, and you need to get it done, and it needs to be, not something that you have to come in every 30 seconds and be like, oh, look, I just forgot this one little thing, I can fix it. That starts to piss people off pretty quickly. So you need to make it Even if it's like 3, modules. Yes, I know it looks easy, but they're hiring you for a reason. And it is true anyone can build these make flows, these innate agents and stuff. It's you don't want to be that geek who, and I'm not calling out anyone specific here, but you don't want to have this huge nodes and innate stuff everywhere of, nonsense that you're talking about. It doesn't make any sense. You're just trying to overcomplicate it so that the client's like, "Oh, well, I need him to do it." It can be effective, but if they kinda know the stuff, they can tell you're bullshitting, and then you're probably gonna get fired, and they're gonna build it anyways. So just deliver the service. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't automate human connection, and that's basically it. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe. I did just drop my new school community. We're pumping out Loom videos teaching you how to, write cold email copy, how to outreach, how to get AI automation clients, how to learn these AI automation, platforms. I'm doing it with my business partner, Shafik. You can learn more in the description. Just go check it out. If you need AI consultation or, AI personalization cold email built out for your B2B business, then book a call down in the comments and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Besides that, everybody have a great day and peace out.